Hey guys, thanks for joining us. It's the 14th of September 2019. This is our Friday show, but we're doing it on Saturday. And I'm always joined by Perry, so here he is.
Well, here I am. What were your other two wishes, Justin?
That people would follow us on Twitter at Management Clock and that they would subscribe to us on either YouTube, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, or Stitcher, or all of the above.
Wow, that went really well. We didn't plan that at all.
I know that's pretty amazing. And also, I almost forgot to tell you guys, this is Clock Management.
What's up? It's Alexander Madison, running back from the Minnesota Vikings, and you're watching Clock Management.
So welcome back, guys. Thanks for joining us this Saturday morning. Well, for us, I don't know when you're watching, but it's Saturday morning for us. Normally we have our beers on Fridays. I had plenty of those last night, so now I'm having some coffee Saturday morning.
Yeah, it was Friday the 13th yesterday. So here at the house, we watched a couple of scary movies. Just felt right. And yeah, I did have a glass of scotch and a beer and then another beer.
Oh, yeah.
So yeah, coffee's doing me well this morning.
Yeah. I went and watched a scary movie as well. I watched the new movie Hustle with J-Lo as a stripper. She's 50-something years old.
Good for her.
Yeah, it was terrifying. I was worried for her on the pole. I'm like, if she falls, she's breaking a hip.
Oh boy.
No,
This show is going places.
she actually looked good for being 50 years old. I mean, I hope to look that good when I'm 50, but I mean, that's going to require a lot of plastic surgery on my part.
Yeah, you already look good though. Let me just say.
I did get dressed up today. I got my my tuxedo hoodie on, so trying to class it up a little bit here.
I did not class it up. I'm wearing a t-shirt, and you don't know this because you can't see it, but I'm wearing sweatpants.
Oh, okay. I just assumed you weren't wearing pants, so.
No, the life of a podcaster. You just wear sweatpants whenever you want.
I know. I'm actually wearing some joggers with this. It fits well.
Nice.
Yeah.
Well,
and then we're actually going to be meeting up later today too. And so speaking of that, I'm going to be bringing some whiskey for you, or not whiskey. What was
Scotch?
it? Scotch. That's the word I'm looking
oh man, I knew I picked a good best friend.
for. Telling Sean you said that. All right, let's get into some news, Per.
Yeah, today we're going to be covering the news, what's going on, current events in the NFL. Same thing we do every Friday. We're also going to do a brief overview of all the games, exactly any notes that we have. We're going to try and tone it down a little bit so our Friday episode isn't an hour long like it was last week. But let's start with the Thursday night game that already happened with the Buccaneers and the Panthers. Does that sound good?
Wait, that game happened?
Oh yeah, it happened. So Tampa
You
Bay
wouldn't be able to tell by OJ Howard's points.
Oh, I know, man. What? I'm sorry. Did you have OJ Howard?
So you had OJ Howard, and
I had.
and then you dropped OJ Howard, and then
Yeah.
I decided that I was going to stop doing the Vance dance.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
Did not go well.
No, I immediately regret that, and I'm begging Vance for a second dance.
You tried to pick the prettier girl at the prom.
Yeah.
And OJ Howard was not the prettier girl at the prom.
No, yeah, everyone thought he was, and I was like, all right, week one, no, there's flukes. I'm like, I think he'll still outperform. And you actually took the tight end I was trying to pick up with Mark Andrews, and then I got stuck with OJ Howard at the end of the day, and now neither one of us are satisfied.
Yeah. Well, I mean.
No, I mean
satisfied.
between me and OJ Howard.
Oh, okay. So yeah, this game, 20-14, Buccaneers win. Let's start with the Panthers. I think the big takeaway from the Panthers game is Cam Newton is untrustable.
Yeah, so I'm going to go more on a positive note here. DJ Moore looked good.
DJ Moore did look good.
That's okay. Now that's all there is. Talk positively about the Panthers.
Honestly, Curtis Samuel looked good. DJ Moore looked good, and Greg Olsen 6 receptions for 110 yards.
Yeah, and their kicker looked great.
Yeah. Let's keep in mind though, Cam Newton did throw the ball 51 times. So there's obviously going to be some receiving yards to be had there. Yeah. Christian McCaffrey, terrible game. 16 carries for 37 yards. 2 receptions for 16 yards. I mean, I know we're a fantasy show and it's not our job to analyze the teams' chances of winning. We're supposed to analyze individual players. But if the Panthers want to win, they can't only throw the ball to Christian McCaffrey 2 times.
Yeah, and Cam Newton, he's lucky he didn't throw 6 interceptions in that game.
Yeah, he played horribly. There's something wrong with Cam Newton. If you have an option in your league to drop Cam and pick up somebody else, or if you can somehow trade Cam to somebody who still thinks Cam Newton is fantasy relevant, I would do it, man. I would do it in a heartbeat.
Even if you're, I would even trade him if you're getting a low end running back, take that trade and pick up a quarterback off the waiver wire to fill that spot.
If you have
any improvement to your team.
If you have Cam Newton in your lineup right now, what I would do is immediately drop him and pick up Derek Carr and play Derek Carr this week. Derek Carr will be a better start than Cam Newton.
They can't do that.
You're right.
They already played Cam Newton. Yeah, next week though.
It's early. I'm sorry, but I would play Derek Carr over Cam Newton.
Oh yeah,
until something changes with Cam Newton.
There's not many starting quarterbacks that I want it unless you're on the Jets or Miami or Washington.
Here's a crazy take. I would probably play Gardner Minshew over Cam Newton at the moment.
So. Yeah. Oh, that's not. I completely agree with you. I think Russell Wilson is a horrible fantasy football quarterback this season, and I would play Russell Wilson over Cam Newton.
Yeah, absolutely. Let's jump over to the other side here with the Buccaneers. They did win the game. I wouldn't say it was a clean game by the Buccaneers.
No, but I was impressed with Jameis Winston's play compared to his play last week. He looked much better.
He didn't turn over the ball.
Yes.
So that's the he's turned over the ball more than anybody in his career from this point, right? So he 208 yards and a touchdown. You probably weren't satisfied if you had him in fantasy, but you probably shouldn't be starting him in fantasy unless you're in a deep 2 quarterback league.
Yeah, or a Cam Newton owner.
Yeah. Let's start with the running backs. Peyton Barbour was the guy that got the carries. He had 23 carries, 82 yards and a touchdown. Personally, I think if you have 23 carries, I'd like to see you probably break 100 yards. The crazy thing is that Ronald Jones only had 4 carries for 9 yards when Ronald Jones had almost the exact same stat line that Peyton Barbour had this week. And Bruce Arians, you and I were just talking, Bruce Arians says that he's going to play the hot hand. Well, the hot hand was Ronald Jones. Now the hot hand's Peyton Barbour. We have no idea who's going to play. And I know people have been trading for Peyton Barbour now. I don't want anything to do with this backfield. Anything to do with it.
Yeah. They're not talented. I don't think that's a talented enough backfield to make up for the inconsistency you're going to get and the week to week just bad offense you're going to get.
Yeah, I agree. We'll move on here, but basically, if one of these guys gets hurt, the other one becomes very fantasy relevant.
Absolutely, because then you remove that inconsistency.
Yeah. In the receiving game, Chris Godwin was the man of the night. 8 receptions on 9 targets for 121 yards and a touchdown.
I saw some interesting talk on Twitter, Perry. If trade straight across, who would you take on this between Godwin and Evans?
So that's hard. And I saw the same conversation on Twitter. And I think basically I wouldn't want to trade straight across either way. But I want one of them. So right now, do not go out and try and get Godwin because he's going to be far too expensive. Go out and try and get Mike Evans. Yeah. I really think that people can steal Mike Evans. I'm not worried about Mike Evans.
If I have Godwin, I'm keeping him in that trade. If I have Evans, I'm accepting that trade though.
Okay, so you want Godwin.
Yeah.
Yeah. I
But you're right.
He's
He's high though. Like people are really big on him right now. He wait till he has a tough matchup. He has a down week, and then maybe you could get him.
Yeah.
But right now Mike Evans, he's had 2 low weeks in a row. You should try and trade for him.
Yeah. I don't think there's anything really else to cover there. We already talked about the tight ends. I don't want either of these tight ends. So if you have OJ Howard, find something else to do.
I will.
Okay, so let's move on to some news real quick here. Not a ton to talk about as we're going to be covering the games, but we'll start with Melvin Gordon. Melvin Gordon is reported. He has said that he will be playing in 2019. Sources say that it's not a Le'Veon Bell situation, which I think is what we want to hear.
I guess he needs. Now they're saying he needs to play by week 10 for it to count this season.
You know, with the Le'Veon Bell stuff last year, we were hearing all kinds of like he has to play by week 6, then he has to play by week 8, and he has to play by week 10, and then he didn't play at all, and he still got to sign with the Jets. So I don't really know how that all works.
Yeah, but I think the difference here is Le'Veon Bell did not want to be a Pittsburgh Steeler anymore.
Yes,
and
that's it.
Yeah, Melvin Gordon wants to be a Charger, LA Charger. That's right.
Yeah. So I guess the only advice I can give you guys is if you can stash Melvin Gordon, I'd probably do it. I still have him in my Dynasty League, and he's not going anywhere. So
yeah, I have him in one of my leagues that I'm just sitting there on my bench.
Oh, yeah. Okay, let's see. We'll move on here to Darius Geis. Darius Geis had a meniscus, not a repair, but a cleanup. I can tell you that it's good news that he had a cleanup. That means his recovery time is going to be much, much shorter. But, I mean, he's droppable at this point. He's on IR, so he won't be back until at least week 10. Do not hold on to Darius Geis.
Yeah, he's not worth holding on to.
Yeah, and to be completely honest with you, Justin, I don't want him in Dynasty. I don't want him going forward at all.
I have him in Dynasty. I'm not happy about this. So I've been off and on that hype train. He got close to the edge. I hopped off. He was teetering on the edge, and then Jordan Reed just went flying past him on the hype train and just pulled him right over that ledge.
Yeah, it was like Gandalf getting pulled over the edge by the Balrog.
Exactly.
Yeah. That's an embarrassing reference, but I don't care.
And the image of that is right here.
Oh, man. So there was some scare about Le'Veon Bell over the last couple of days. He had an MRI on his shoulder. MRI came back negative, which is positive in doctor terms. So nothing to worry about with Lev Bell. I will say that I don't think he's going to play every snap going forward. I know we are really hyped about that. He will get the bulk of the work. He is still an auto start. He's still, I mean, if you own him, I think you're happy about it. But I don't think they're going to play him 100% of snaps every game. That's just ridiculous.
Yeah, they said he is getting it for shoulder soreness. He was on 100% of snaps. That's why your shoulder is sore.
Yeah. He's all concerned about it. It's like, and then Antonio Brown. Let's talk about Antonio Brown here. Yeah. I know it's another episode, so we have to cover him. He will not be placed on the commissioner's exempt list as of yet. That doesn't mean he won't
unless something changes.
Excuse me. All it means is he is probably going to play this weekend. And knowing the Patriots, he's probably going to get some work. Are you starting Antonio Brown if you own him?
I do own him in one league, and in that league I am starting him because I am hurting really bad at wide receiver in that league. So I'm kind of forced into starting him. I'm not happy about having to start him.
Right. I'm not starting him in our league of record. I am starting Cooper Kupp over him, which I think some people might disagree with. And I feel like if Antonio Brown goes out and has like 6 receptions for 80 yards and a touchdown, I'm not going to be surprised.
My
But
thing
I'm not going to be disappointed that I didn't start him.
Yeah, they're playing Miami, and I don't think the Patriots need him to beat Miami, so I don't know how much the playing time he actually gets, and not because of the situation at all, just because he's still so new to their offense.
Yeah, it's weird. I mean, I don't know what to do with Antonio Brown. I'm an Antonio Brown owner, and to be completely honest with you, what I would love to see is him have a huge game this week, and then I might trade him. I'm over the headache of owning Antonio Brown. It's either the helmet, or it's the feet, or it's him getting dropped, or it's him having rape allegations. Like this all happened in the last 4 weeks, and it's a roller coaster.
I'm gonna jump right onto that segue and take us into news nobody cares about, Perry.
Let's do it, man.
So Antonio Brown, more Antonio Brown news. Just got dropped as a sponsor for the helmet company that he announced last week or 2 weeks ago that he chose them to be his new helmet because he was seen at practice on cameras wearing a different helmet. He complained that he couldn't find a helmet, and apparently he found 2.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. So great news on the Antonio Brown front there.
I don't like being mean, but that guy's a loser. I'm over him.
He's selfish. I don't feel bad talking bad about him because it's not like I'm gonna hurt his feelings. He only cares about his own opinion.
Yeah, I don't think he hears what anybody else says either. Let's move on from him. What else you got?
Let's do it.
Nobody cares about.
God, I wish the NFL could. Aaron Rodgers wants fans to stop doing the wave while he has the ball.
I've got producer Sean calling me here.
Oh shit!
Let me let him know that we're recording, everybody. I'm gonna tell him you all said hi.
Yeah.
Okay.
Live on the air. I'm recorded on the air.
All right. Sorry about that.
All right. So next piece of news no one cares about. The Browns banned the wrong fan for pouring beer on a Titans player. Apparently the person they banned wasn't even in the city at the time. He was DJing a wedding.
He must have done very horribly.
I saw the video of the fan pouring beer on the player, and the player was like, he was super upset about it, like, or some other player was, about talking about how there's no repercussion for the fans, and then I guess the Browns decided to ban the guy.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, they banned the wrong person.
I mean, that's terrible for that person, but I really hate when fans do stuff like that.
Oh, I know. That's
shameful.
Horrible fan bases, like do stuff like that.
It's terrible.
Yeah. Okay. Anyway, let's get away from those fans. Last piece of news no one cares about. The Miami fans built a strip club last weekend in the parking lot before the game. Like, they put up tents and had a strip club in the parking lot of the stadium.
Are you sure that wasn't just the filming of the movie Hustle?
Yeah, that one took place in New York. When I heard this, my reaction was, maybe they should have spent that time building a team.
Yeah, no kidding. They got to find a way to draw people into those games because the Dolphins are bad. That's wild.
I know. I was like in disbelief when I saw that. That's incredible.
There's going to be a 30 for 30 for that. What if I told you? All right, let's move on here.
I hope they have a scene from me covering it.
Let's move on here. Let's talk about some of these matchups here. First game we're going to talk about is Cardinals-Ravens. You just picked up Lamar Miller. How do you feel?
Lamar Jackson?
Yep.
I'm like, I definitely did not pick up Lamar Miller. That would be a horrible move. I don't recommend that.
Boy.
Lamar Jackson, I feel great. I don't think I think most reasonable people are not expecting the game he had last week. I'm definitely not. I'm hoping that I could get a decent amount of rushing yards. I'd be happy if he had 40, 50 rushing yards. I think that's great from him. And I could see it happening easy.
Yeah, I think he didn't need to run the ball last week, and that's why he didn't run the ball. I don't think Lamar Jackson's done running the ball, and I think that's a good thing. I think as a fantasy owner, you want Lamar Jackson to run the ball. So I could see him throwing for 2 touchdowns, running for 40 or 50, and you're going to be very happy with the outcome, fantasy-wise. Are you starting any of the Ravens running backs? I know that you're pretty down on starting any of those guys.
Yeah.
Mark
Man.
Ingram.
Yeah.
I would start Mark Ingram.
I don't own Mark Ingram. I'm not a big believer in him for a year long. If it were like this week and I did own him, I would have no problem starting him this week, though.
Yeah, I think if you get him in their flex, you're happy. On the Cardinals side of the ball, you're starting David Johnson. You're starting Larry Fitzgerald. Are you starting Kyler Murray? Are you happy about starting Kyler Murray? I'm a little nervous.
No, I'm finding someone on the waiver wire to instead of Kyler Murray.
I agree. But
I think it's twofold, though. I think the first part is because of his play, and the second part is because the Ravens have a good defense.
They do. It's kind of a new defense. They've built it up, but I agree with you. I'm nervous about starting Kyler Murray. If I have to, I'm not too thrilled about it. But let's move on to the next game here. Chargers Lions.
Oh, how you feel about Carry On?
Carry On, man. I want to love Carry On. I do love Carry On, but I hate Matt Patricia. I don't think Matt Patricia is a good coach. I think that this is the last year that he will coach for the Lions. He needs to go. He doesn't know what he's doing. I just don't understand it. Giving CJ Anderson that many carries. There were people talking about that in the preseason and even pre-preseason that CJ Anderson is scary, that he's going to steal carries from Kerryon Johnson. And I laughed at that.
Yeah, because of the talent differential.
But here we are. I'm still starting Kerryon.
Yeah.
Hopefully not as my RB1. I mean, more ideally RB2 or even a flex, but yeah.
Yeah, I think if you have him, no matter where you drafted him, you're gonna have to. You're starting him.
Yeah, unfortunately, that's the truth. Wide receivers for the Lions, I'd be okay starting Marvin Lewis. I'd be okay starting Kenny Golladay. Hopefully, as a number 2 or 3 receiver for both of them. Matthew Stafford looked great last week. I'm okay if he was your late round quarterback that you took.
Are you starting Danny Amendola?
No, I'm not.
Okay.
Let me see it again.
Yeah.
Basically.
Yeah. He actually beat me in our dynasty league because I was playing your brother who had him and Matthew Stafford.
Hey man, the stack bites hard in both directions. So the Chargers, you're starting Austin Eckler for sure. I almost think you can start Justin Jackson as well. Justin Jackson would be a deeper league flex. Austin Eckler is an RB1 or 2. You're definitely starting Keenan Allen. I love Keenan Allen. I didn't get any Keenan Allen shares this year. I know you grabbed him.
I have him in a couple leagues. I'm big on him.
You and I both love Keenan Allen. And Phillip Rivers, great late round drafted quarterback. If you have him, I'm sure you're happy with him. Definitely play him. I don't think there's a whole lot to talk about here. Sorry, real quick. In the Cardinals-Ravens game, who are you taking?
Oh, good call. I'm taking Ravens.
I agree. Chargers-Lions?
Oh, I'm taking Chargers.
Yeah, I agree as well. Let's move on to the next one here.
This one, we may disagree here. So let's go over the fantasy relevance first, though. Quarterbacks, which quarterback has a better week?
I'm going to say that Marcus Mariota has a better week, not because he's a better quarterback, but because the Titans defense is real.
I'm going Brissett.
Okay. Maybe that'll be our bet, but
yeah.
I think
we're going to differ on this game too.
I think the Colts can win the game, but the Titans, man, they butchered the Browns last week.
Yeah.
They're real, and there is way more talent on that Browns team than there is on this Colts team. But we'll see.
Yeah. I like the Colts though. I fantasy relevance. Don't start any of their tight ends. They take from each other, just like we told you they were going to. If you do have one of them, drop them and find another tight end. There's a bunch out there.
Yeah.
Waller would be a great option. We'll go over those as we get to those games. Then you got on the Titans side of the ball. Don't start their tight end. You shouldn't have him either. He's old.
What? No, wait. Well, I disagree with that. If you want to start Delaney Walker, yeah, that's okay.
You shouldn't have him on your team.
I mean, Delaney Walker had a much better week than a lot of
absolutely
did last week. I just don't think that we should throw a blanket statement that Delaney Walker is unstartable.
No, I'm saying he shouldn't be on your team. There's better options out there on the waiver wire that you could start this week.
That depends on the league. Moving on.
All right, wide receivers. T.Y. Hilton's a must start.
I agree.
We were a little worried about how he played with Brissett. Everything looked amazing. Start him. On the other side of the ball, Corey Davis is going to break out this game.
100% confirmed.
Just make sure he's on your bench or the waiver wire when he does it. So leave him on one of those two places. A.J. Brown, though, I really like. I don't know if I'm saying start him. Maybe if you're super shallow at wide receiver and you're hurting, you could start him as your wide receiver too. But I'm not happy with that if I'm starting him there.
Yeah, I agree. I'm taking Titans in this game.
Yeah, I'm taking Colts.
Okay. 49ers, Bengals. 49ers, let's start there. Jimmy Garoppolo, I still think he's unstartable in fantasy.
Don't start him. I agree. Kittle, of course, you're starting him if you have him.
I'm not starting a 49ers wide receiver either.
No, I wouldn't. There's not a single one I feel comfortable with. The only one that I think is even rosterable on even a deeper league is Debo.
Yeah, I think, deep league, you can roster Debo Samuels.
Yeah.
Running back situation there. I think both need to be owned.
Are you
starting Raheem Mostert?
I would have again, if you're hurting at that position, I would have no problem starting Mostert as like a flex spot this week. You saw how well Seattle ran against them as well. So I mean, I actually like that matchup. I would have no problem if I was hurting at running back, needed someone start this week to pick up Raheem Mostert and throw him in there. Just know you're not going to get a lot of future production out of him.
Yeah, I like Matt Burrito a lot, though, this week.
Yeah, either one of those two. I think they're both startable this week in a flex spot.
Yeah, George Kittle, auto start. The Bengals, Andy Dalton looked fantastic. Andy Dalton's probably the least talked about quarterback this week, or from last week, that really had a very good game.
Yeah.
He's an option to play over somebody like Kyler Murray this week. So, if you have Kyler Murray, I would start Andy Dalton over him.
Yeah, my only fear is the 49ers defense did look really good last week.
Yeah, it did look very good.
And they just got back one of their so they have obviously Sherman on one side as cornerback, and they were playing their second string on the other side. They just got their starter back this week, so it might actually improve a little bit there, be a little bit harder to throw the ball.
Well, here you go, real quick. You starting Andy Dalton or Kyler Murray?
God.
Quick.
I'm going with Andy Dalton.
Okay, you starting Andy Dalton or you starting Jacoby Brissett?
I think I'm going Brissett.
Okay, starting Andy Dalton or are you starting Matthew Stafford?
I'm starting to fall in love, I think. Brissett. What was the last one? I'm sorry.
Matthew Stafford or Andy Dalton?
Stafford.
Okay. I agree with all of this. Bengals wide receivers, starting John Ross?
No. I like him. I picked him up in one league, but I'm not starting him. I want to see him do it again.
I think 12-team league or higher, he's startable.
Yeah.
If you have less than 12-team league, he's not startable. Tyler Boyd, you starting Tyler Boyd?
Boyd, I feel comfortable with.
Okay. The running back situation for the Bengals is kind of a disaster right now. Joe Mixon might play.
Yeah, So
Are
I
you
mean,
starting Joe Mixon?
I'm not comfortable even saying anything about them because of that. Like, I'm not going to tell you go start Giovanni Bernard with Joe Mixon possibly playing. I'm also not comfortable telling you to go start Giovanni Bernard with him not playing.
So if Joe Mixon's not playing, I am comfortable telling you to start Giovanni Bernard in a deeper league. I am not. If Joe Mixon is playing, I am comfortable telling you to not play either of them.
Yeah, because they're going to end up splitting carries to keep him healthy.
Yeah. Let's
tight end.
Oh, tight end. Yeah. Well, is Tyler Eifert?
Yeah, right. Or Croft.
I'm not starting it.
Yeah.
Don't own a Bengals tight end.
Who you got?
I've got in this one, man. I think I gotta go with the Niners.
Yeah, me too.
I know you want to take them, but I gotta go with the Niners. Jaguars Texans. Let's start with the Jags here. Gardner Minshew looked super good, but let's see if he can do it again. I actually kind of hope it works out for him because it'd be nice to see the Jaguars actually have a quarterback. I know Nick Foles was their guy,
Super Bowl MVP.
He's gone. So Nick Foles is hurt. He's not going to be here. And Blake Bortles, my gosh, I feel your pain being a Denver fan. I've had a long line of bad quarterbacks come through the last few years. Blake Bortles, what a train wreck. So I hope it works out for Gardner Minshew, and he might be a fantasy relevant here in a few weeks. We'll see. Wide receivers over there. Which wide receivers are you starting for the Jaguars?
For the Jaguars, I'm not.
You're not starting DJ Chark?
Nope. I'm not starting a single Jaguars wide receiver. Next week I might, because I love D.D. Westbrook.
That's the guy that I'm surprised that. I mean, how many teams do you have to be in your league for you to start D.D. Westbrook?
I say 12. Yeah, 12-man league, and he's going to be that would be like a flex position at that. Because I'm not big. Last week, I love D.D. Westbrook because in the preseason, you saw the connection he had with Foles. All the reports out of camp, they're talking about this connection they had. Yeah. And like you saw it in real time during preseason, he was hyper targeted. And so I loved him. And then Foles got injured, and you saw that stop immediately. Okay. So that's why I'm not comfortable with anyone there until I see a little bit more how things shake out there.
Gotcha.
Jaguars running backs.
Leonard Fournette is an auto start. I don't think he's going to be efficient. I don't think it's going to look good, but I think he's going to touch the ball 25 times.
Yep.
You have to start Leonard Fournette. On the Texans side of the ball, Deshaun Watson, just start him. Don't worry about it. Running back wise, which one of the two running backs you like there? I kind of like Carlos Hyde.
I know. I love Carlos Hyde. I just think that being a 49er fan, I just see that him losing the job there eventually to the better.
But we're
pass
talking about this
back.
This week.
I know. So Jaguars, I'm going Carlos Hyde. He's more of the physical back, which is what they're going to need in this game.
I think Carlos Hyde is more likely to get a touchdown than Duke Johnson.
Oh, yeah, because they're going to be running the ball up the gut on him.
But if you have to put Duke Johnson in a flex in a 12-team league, I think you're fine with that. I think you're okay. 12-team flex spot, third running back, Duke Johnson might catch 5 or 6 passes. I mean, we're assuming you're playing half point PPR because it's not the Stone Age. That's how I feel. Who are you taking in this game? Oh, Texans wide receivers. Definitely, we don't even need to talk about
Hopkins.
Thank you, DeAndre Hopkins. Will Fuller. I think Will Fuller probably catches a deep pass here. Maybe gets a touchdown.
Yeah, I'm starting Hopkins. The other ones,
not excited about starting Will Fuller, but if I had to, I would. Who are you taking in this game?
Texans for sure.
Yeah, me too. Okay, that's easy. Vikings, Packers. We got to move on here a little quick. Vikings, Kirk Cousins is going to have a better week. Not that he had a bad week. NFL-wise, fantasy-wise, he'll have a better week this week, I think.
The Dragon
will return. Wide receivers, definitely starting Adam Thielen. Stephon Diggs, I mean, he has no injury designation this week.
Yeah,
which is
I
good
think
for
he's
Stephon
a safe
Diggs.
start now.
I think so too. Dalvin Cook, auto start. Love Dalvin Cook.
Yeah. Kyle Rudolph.
Kyle Rudolph. I don't want to own Kyle Rudolph.
No.
So, and then Alexander Madison might be a sneaky flex play. Might be.
Yeah.
I'd like to see a little more, but I'm very excited about Alexander Madison.
Yeah. I love him. If he's still not on a roster, go ahead and swoop him up.
Yeah, for sure. Packers. Is Aaron Rodgers going to have a redemption week?
It's a tough defense there. I think he's going to do okay. I don't think he's going to throw up some crazy numbers this week, which like you'd want to see from Aaron Rodgers. But I mean, if you have him, you're starting him. So,
and I don't want to go into the big long discussion of why drafting a quarterback early is bad again, but this is a part of that reason, right? I don't want to start Aaron Rodgers this week.
But if you have him, you're forced into that situation unless you took two quarterbacks, which is even crazier.
I would rather start Matthew Stafford. I'd rather start Jacoby Brissett maybe. Than Aaron Rodgers. So anyways, Packers wide receivers, definitely starting Devontae Adams. Are you starting Geronimo Allison?
No.
Okay.
I'm not starting a second wide receiver this week from the Packers.
Okay. And then running backs. Aaron Jones, man. Free Aaron Jones. Free him.
Please.
Free that man.
Please do.
I think you have to start him.
Yep.
From where you drafted him. But man, I really want to see something from him this week.
Absolutely.
Who you got in this game? This one is a little closer.
Yeah. I'm going Vikings.
Darn it. Me too. No, you know what? I'll take it. I'll take the Packers. They're at home. I'll take the Packers at home. Cowboys and
don't do the wave, guys.
The Cowboys and the team up in Washington. The Cowboys, man.
Okay,
Oof.
so from the Redskins, don't start anybody.
I kind of think so. I think you can probably start Chris Thompson.
No, and Chris Thompson I could see in a flex. And then also in the same spot though, so you'd be starting one or the other would be I always mess his name up, the rookie wide receiver.
I know, I'm trying to remember his
McLaurin or something
yeah,
like that.
Yeah. McLaurin.
McLovin.
Yeah, I think that's all we need to talk about with that team in Washington. Cowboys, though, start Dak Prescott, start Amari Cooper,
start Ezekiel Elliott.
Those three auto start. Are you starting Michael Gallup?
I'm okay with that, especially against Redskins. And then what about are you starting Jason Witten?
No, I am not. I'm taking the Cowboys to win this as well.
Yeah, shocker.
Okay. Seahawks and Steelers. Seahawks here. I think you're probably starting. You could start Russell Wilson.
Yeah, you're starting.
It's safe. Chris Carson. Automatic start. I'm not starting Rashad Penny.
I'm not starting.
I dropped Rashad Penny in 2 leagues. Just so you're aware.
I'm not starting Tyler Lockett.
No.
I'm not starting DK Metcalf.
But I do want to own DK Metcalf.
Yeah, again, I agree with you there. I want him on my bench to see if he can do what he did last week.
Yeah.
I'm not ready to jump on that hype train yet. But if I had him, then I'm going to be like watching him just to see what he does this week.
For sure. Steelers. Ben Roethlisberger, go ahead and if you own him, sure, start him. That's fine.
Yeah.
Starting. How worried are you about the running back situation?
I'm not. I think the Steelers in general they need to, I felt like they just got Jedi mind tricked by Bill Belichick last week.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree.
And they'll be fine moving forward.
You can't run the ball when you're that far behind. So
yeah, so
I agree. And then Juju Smith-Schuster.
Start him.
Yeah. Don't worry about it.
Are you starting a second wide receiver from that team?
No. I think Washington might catch a deep touchdown.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised if he pulls down a deep touchdown. Dante Moncrief was embarrassing.
Yeah, there's.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't like any Dante wide receivers.
So,
Dante Pettis, Dante
yeah.
Moncrief.
Dante's Inferno, though, wonderful movie.
Right?
Vance McDonald, I think he has a better week this week.
God, me too.
If you want to start Vance, that's okay.
I do. Can I?
I'm going to take the Steelers in a redemption game.
I am on board with that.
Okay. Bills, Giants, 2 New York teams here.
Ooh.
With the Bills, Josh Allen. I think you could start Josh Allen.
Yeah, I'm fine with that. What about Bills running backs?
Devin Singletary.
Yeah.
I like Devin Singletary a lot.
Yeah, they need to feed him the ball.
I think it's obvious that he's the best running back on that team. We just need them to use him as such. Are you starting any wide receivers on the Bills? John Brown?
I'm okay with John Brown.
Yeah, I am as well.
Man.
Yeah.
Words I never thought I would say.
Listen, I'm giving you guys the advice. John Brown's okay. I'm not ready to take my own advice yet. How about that?
Yeah. Everything I've looked at, all the tape, the stats have told me I'm okay to start him.
Yeah.
I can tell you I would cringe as I put him in my lineup.
Yeah. On the Giants side of the ball, Eli Manning, while had a decent week last week, this Bills defense is sneaky good. I'm not starting Eli Manning. I'm not trying to throw that sneaky Eli Manning start in there. Saquon Barkley, just that guy lives in your lineup. He never leaves. Even on bye week, he's going to score you points. Evan Ingram is the only target on that team.
Yes.
Saquon Barkley. Evan Ingram might end up as the number 1 tight end this season.
Evan Ingram and Saquon you start both of them every week.
Yep. I'm taking the Bills.
Yeah. Yeah. All that being said, Bills are winning this game.
This next game, we're going to fly through it. Patriots at Dolphins. Do not start a single Dolphin player. Not talking about them anymore. You can start Tom Brady. You can start Sony Michel. You can start Josh Gordon.
You can start every Patriots player that you can think of to start.
Yeah.
We were talking about Antonio Brown already with the starting thing there, and I told you how I feel about that. But he's outside of him, every other one I am confident in starting.
Yeah, totally. I take Patriots easy here.
Yeah.
Chiefs Raiders. I think this game's going to be closer than what people expect, but
yeah.
Raiders. If you want to start Derek Carr, go for it. The Chiefs are terrible against quarterbacks.
Yeah.
It definitely start Josh Jacobs. I think that he'll get a lot of work. Raiders wide receivers. Justin.
Williams.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, and then more importantly though, saying the tight end Waller. You start him this week because, like you said, they're horrible against quarterbacks. That ball's going to be going to Waller quite a bit. So
yeah, I'd start Darren Waller for sure. I agree. On the Chiefs side of the ball, I mean, you're starting all the obvious faces here. Don't overthink it. The only thing I would think is in the running back situation, Damian Williams, I think you have to start him because where you drafted him. But I might start looking at trying to replace that spot here in the next few weeks. I really think LaShawn McCoy looked very good and is almost startable as well this week.
Yeah. I'm still, I'm low on Williams, but I'm okay with starting him. I think he's gonna, week to week, I think he's gonna get you no lower than RB2 points. So
I didn't like Williams at all in the offseason, so this is kind of what I expected, to be completely honest with you. Saints Rams. Oh, I'm taking the Chiefs.
Oh yeah, me too.
Saints Rams here. This is my game of the week. I'm very excited about this game. This is the NFC Championship rematch that everybody wanted. Saints should have won that game. Whatever, we're not going to talk about that. The Saints, I think you can start Drew Brees. Alvin Kamara is kind of risky. No, I'm just kidding. Alvin Kamara is just like Saquon Barkley. He lives in your lineup. I think Latavius Murray in a maybe like 12-team league, you throw him in a flex. Even in a 10-team, if you're weak at running back, it's fine. Go ahead, throw him in there. He could get a touchdown. Michael Thomas is an auto start. Are you starting Ted Ginn Jr. or Traquan Smith at all?
No.
Okay.
They're too boom or bust for me. I want points.
Deep league, very deep league, 12, 14 team league. I think he'd start Ted Ginn.
I don't know. I think I would rather have DK Metcalf in than Ted Ginn.
That's fair. Yeah, I agree with that. Tight ends. Are you starting a Saints tight end? Jared Cook. Starting Jared Cook.
I'm okay with it.
He looked so good last year on the Raiders, but man, I'd like to see it happen here.
I mean, yeah, tight ends. It's a hard one to call, and I'm okay with starting him if you need a tight end or you don't have a good tight end or he's on the waiver wire. Go ahead and throw him in there.
Sure. Rams side of the ball, Jared Goff at home was the best fantasy quarterback in the league last year.
Start Goff. And
Are
then
you starting
Todd Gurley? I'm starting.
I'm starting. Start Todd Gurley.
I'm not. I told. I was against drafting Todd Gurley.
I know, but if you drafted Todd Gurley, you have to start Todd Gurley.
You do, and that's not something I like. You're going to be upset about it every week. I told you this before. That you shouldn't draft him. You put yourself in this situation, damn it.
Okay.
You made
Malcolm
that bed,
Brown.
now lie in it.
Malcolm Brown. Do you think Malcolm Brown steals another touchdown or two?
Yes, and it increases from here.
I don't know. I think it's gonna be an equal thing there, like a 50-50 share.
Do you think Todd Gurley's knee gets better or worse through the season?
Oh, I think it gets worse, but I think if they use him like they did last game, very minimally, he could probably make it through the
slower
season.
decline.
Yeah, I think their whole goal is to keep him as fresh as possible for the playoffs. But I mean, we'll see going forward. You have to start Todd Gurley. It's a moot point.
You trade Todd Gurley.
I agree. Get rid of Todd Gurley. Wide receivers, you are definitely starting.
Cook.
Why am I? I mean, if you want to, Woods. You're definitely starting Robert Woods. Cooper Kupp, I'm starting him over Antonio Brown, but that's just a choice I'm making. Brandon Cooks. I mean, all three of them. If you were to start, if I see them, three in your lineup,
are you starting him over Alshon Jeffrey?
We haven't gotten to that game yet.
I know.
I honestly think I'd start Alshon.
Oh,
I know
man.
I bet on Alshon, and that's the joke going on right now. But
yeah. I think I actually start Alshon in this week.
Yeah. We'll get to that game in just a minute, though. Who do you got in this game?
Oh, that's a tough one.
I'm taking my Saints.
Oh, damn it. Me too.
I'm taking my Saints.
Yeah.
Yeah, redemption game. They're going to come out angry, man.
Yeah. Okay, and the Rams aren't the Todd Gurley situation hurts them. Moving on next week or next game. Bears Broncos.
Yes. Okay. So
the
as a
game
Broncos fan,
oh no, never mind. Just kidding.
Yeah, I think this game is going to be closer than what everybody is joking about, right?
No, I do too, because of how bad Trubisky looked.
Yeah, I think that this game could be like 20-14. I'm
looking forward to the 3-3 tie.
Let's talk about the Bears. Let's talk about the Bears here. Trubisky, I guess maybe in a deep 2-quarterback league, maybe you could start him. He might come back. We've seen it before.
That's Perry's polite way of saying don't start him.
Yeah, you probably have better options on your waiver wire. Running back wise, David Montgomery, free that man, please. Okay, just no Mike Davis. I don't want to see Mike Davis. On that note, Mike Davis might be a waiver wire pickup next week.
Oh my God, he better not.
Tariq Cohen is a wide receiver now.
Unofficially.
Running back. Yeah, but he's a running back. He basically just plays the slot. I think you could probably start Tariq Cohen in a PPR league. You'd be okay.
Yeah.
Allen Robinson, just start him. I'm really excited about Allen Robinson. Do you agree?
Oh, yeah. Allen Robinson looked terrific.
Anthony Miller.
I forget that you can't see my head nodding here.
No, I can't. Anthony Miller. I'm not starting Anthony Miller, and if you didn't already drop him,
go ahead and get that done with. Just
Band-Aid
method.
At this point in the week, you might as well hold on to him and then use him as a waiver drop next week, unless he does what Anthony Miller is supposed to do.
I'm still dropping.
Yeah, that's fair.
Finding someone, even a Chark or someone like that I'm hoping had something.
I don't think I can fault you for that. On the Broncos side of the ball, I'm not starting Joe Flacco.
Oh man,
I'm not starting a Broncos running back.
What about Noah Fant?
Not because the Broncos running backs are bad, but because that Bears defense
is
going to pile drive the Broncos running backs.
Yeah.
Noah Fant, and not starting Noah Fant, the tight end for the Broncos. The only Bronco I would consider starting is Emmanuel Sanders.
Yeah, I will second that.
Yeah, and that's a consideration. It's not an auto start. If you have a better option, please do it. Cooper Kupp, something like that.
Yeah, I'm going with the Bears, which I think you are as well.
Unfortunately, I'm rooting for the Broncos. Bears are going to win that game.
Yeah, and to me, that's all based off of the Bears defense. Just being able to I foresee them getting turnovers, so the Bears are gonna start in field goal range a couple of their drives compared to the Broncos. So.
Definitely. Let's move on here. We got two more games, and we're just over 50 minutes here.
Oh, okay. Yeah, let's do it. Eagles Falcons.
Woo! Yeah. On the Eagles side of the ball.
This is my game of the week.
Okay.
I'm excited about this. Wentz really balled out last week. Looked really good. I was excited for that. So if you have Wentz, you're starting him, obviously, because you drafted him high. You got
Miles Sanders?
Oh, yeah, Miles Sanders. So, yeah, Miles Sanders, I'm starting him if I have him. I'm comfortable with that now. Tight end, you're starting their tight end. Ertz, yeah, if you have him. If you drafted him, you have to start him. Goddard, don't start him. So Alshon, like I said, I'm choosing Alshon over Kupp. So I think this is I expect a lot of offense out of this game. I know I said that last week out of the Falcons, and I let you down. Have faith in me. I'm coming through on this one.
Yeah.
So go ahead and start Alshon if you have him. There's going to be a touchdown. How you feel about D-Jax?
Yeah, I think he's startable. I think Deshaun Jackson is startable. I think Deshaun Jackson has been fantasy relevant whenever he's had a quarterback that wasn't Jameis Winston. So, he's not your wide receiver one. You probably got him as a flex, and throwing that big boom in your flex.
Yeah.
I mean, if he busts, ideally it doesn't hurt you all that much, but I don't think he busts.
Yeah, I think this is a good game for him. So, I'm actually starting him if I have him. Falcons, oh my God. So Matt Ryan, I'm starting him.
Yep.
If I have Devonta Freeman, I'm starting him. I don't think he's going to be giving you the value that you drafted him at. But if I have him, I'm still starting him because the value he's going to give you is going to be more than people who you would have behind him, most likely.
I am praying that he scores a touchdown this week.
Yeah.
So you can trade him away.
Yeah. Ito Smith, I'm not starting him, but watch him. Watch him. He is slowly encroaching on those carries on Freeman. And I told you guys I love this guy at the, 2 months ago? Yeah.
He's a must-own.
Go get him and give him to me, Perry, still. Julio Jones, I mean, that's a must-start. You drafted Julio. You're starting him. Ridley, what you think?
Starting Calvin Ridley.
Yep.
For sure.
Hooper.
I think that Hooper is a better option than a lot of the tight ends that people have been starting.
So this is one of those ones I had in my mind, Hooper or Delaney Walker.
I think I start Hooper, but it's closer than you think.
Yeah, that's how I feel. Like I just like Hooper more, especially this week.
Yeah.
Okay. Last game we got. Oh, who you choosing?
Taking the Falcons.
Okay, I'm gonna take the Eagles on this one. I think I chose the Falcons in another bet I have going on with someone, but I'm taking the Eagles now. I'm changing it up.
Okay. Browns Jets.
Uh,
Last game.
okay, so
Monday Night Football.
yeah, you got Baker Mayfield Monday Night Football. How you feel?
I've seen Baker Mayfield dropped in some leagues. That is extremely reckless. Don't drop Baker Mayfield yet. It was one bad game. Okay, he's had one bad game in his career. God forbid. I'm starting Baker Mayfield if I own Baker Mayfield.
I agree.
I'm starting Nick Chubb. Just don't even think about it. Yeah. I'm starting Odell Beckham.
Yep. Jarvis Landry.
I mean, it depends what I have, but Jarvis Landry is startable. You shouldn't feel bad about starting Jarvis Landry.
I'm probably starting him.
Yeah.
Njoku?
Probably not. I think I have better options than Njoku.
Yeah. But that one's tough. I'm not going to fault you if you have Njoku and you start him. Go with your heart on that one.
Yeah. The Jets, are you starting Trevor Siemian?
The only player on the Jets I'm starting is Le'Veon Bell.
Yeah, I think so. Jamison Crowder.
Le'Veon, not this week. They don't have a quarterback. They don't have anything. They don't have a team. Le'Veon Bell. The only way I'm starting Jameis Crowder is if Le'Veon Bell is throwing the ball to him.
Okay, fair enough. Yeah, if you don't know, Sam Darnold has mono. And we'll be missing some time. So,
yeah. Who was he making out with?
I don't know. I'm taking the Browns.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Definitely. Browns. 100%. We only disagreed on 2 this week, Perry.
It's an easy week. All right. That's the lineup for the week. Guys, subscribe to us on YouTube. Comment on this video or the next video or both. Let us know how you did last week. Let us know how you're doing this week. Let us know what questions you have for us that we can cover on the show. And just a reminder that we're giving away a signed Tyreek Hill jersey.
Yes.
At 300 YouTube subscribers. So get on that. Hop onto your grandma's YouTube.
On Twitter, send us your lineup on Twitter with questions. We'll answer your questions on there. I've had a few people do that, and
Sid starts.
Both of them. I had 2 people do it last week, and they both killed it. So
yeah, what trades you ran sent them to us. We'll give you our opinion. But let's end it right there, Justin. I'll see you in a few hours, man. Everybody else, have a wonderful football Sunday and football Monday, and we'll be back with you on Tuesday.
Yeah, I'm actually going to do a live stream for a few minutes Sunday morning on our Twitter. So
awesome. I'll be there.